दीपज्योति परब्रह्म दीपज्योति।
Can I please call upon Ms. Yogita Jadhav, our registrar from NISM, to come up on stage for the inaugural address?
How's the George, guys? क्या हुआ ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं किया क्या? Say something. Okay. A very good morning to the students, mentors, ladies and gentlemen here. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the grand finale of the National Financial Literacy Quiz, organized by the National Institute of Securities Market, that is NISM. I extend a warm welcome to the Director NISM, Shri Shashi Krishnan ji, officials from NISM, officials from SEBI, participating institutions, teachers, and of course, the young finalists gathered here today. As we are all aware that India's financial landscape is changing faster than ever before. Our markets are becoming more digital, more accessible, and therefore becoming more complex too. Opportunities are expanding, and so are the challenges. From choosing the right investments to avoiding frauds, young citizens like you need the right knowledge and awareness to make informed decisions. The NFLQ is therefore one of NISM's flagship initiatives aimed at promoting financial literacy and awareness among students across countries. Through this quiz, we seek to inspire young minds to understand the fundamentals of finance, saving, investment, and functioning of the markets, knowledge that is extremely essential for making informed financial decisions in life. Over the past few months, thousands of students from diverse regions and institutions have participated in this national level competition. Their enthusiasm and commitment reflect the growing recognition of how important it is to be financially aware in today's world. Reaching the national level finale itself is a remarkable achievement. I congratulate each one of the finalists for their dedication, effort, and curiosity. At NISM here, our mission is to build a financially literate India, one where every citizen understands how to plan, invest, and secure their financial future responsibly. We believe that financial literacy is the foundation of financial empowerment, and that empowerment must begin at an early age. Initiatives such as NFLQ are a part of our continuing effort to take financial education beyond classrooms and make learning more engaging and meaningful. I would also like to take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to SEBI for its continuous guidance and support in driving financial education initiatives nationwide. SEBI's vision of an informed and aware investor community is at the heart of everything we do at NISM. We believe that an informed investor is a protected investor. My appreciation also goes to the teachers, mentors, and institutional coordinators who have encouraged students to participate, and to the NISM team who has worked diligently to make this event possible. We hope that with the NFLQ initiative, we continue to reach more students across India, building a financially aware generation that is ready to shape our country's future. To all the finalists, I wish you all the best. Participate with enthusiasm and integrity. Enjoy the competition and take pride in the knowledge you take back. Remember, true success lies not only in winning, but in understanding and applying what you learn here in your future endeavors. Once again, congratulations to all the participants and my best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Please, can I call upon stage our director, Mr. Sashi Krishnan, for the keynote address, please.
Good morning and welcome to the NISM campus. As Shyam has been promising you in all the previous 6 rounds that you had, you're going to have a great time in this finals. I still remember that he had mentioned that we're going to have a bonfire tonight, but I think that's cancelled, Shyam, so no more bonfires. But possibly we'll see a lot of bonfires out here today in this National Financial Literacy Quiz, organized by NISM and SEBI. I think all of you had a great journey. We've really enjoyed, the regional rounds that we had. And I think in all the regional rounds that I attended, I did attend most of them. I did understand that, whether it's quizzing or whether it's investments, there are a lot of very common sort of attributes that, professional investors and professional fund managers need to have, that quizzers too need to have. And when I look back at my journey, there are a couple of things that come to me, and I thought I'd share, 3 stories with you, which, I went through, part of my life experiences, which I think, gave me very invaluable lessons, and as quizzers possibly, will give you also a lot of invaluable lessons. I think it was the year 1993, and I was a fund manager with the Unit Trust of India. And one day my executive trustee called me and he asked me, have you looked at a company called Hero Honda? And have you ever thought of investing into this company called Hero Honda? And, I was a sort of rookie. My feet was still to get wet. And, I was, I had a completely blank look on my face because remember, I came from deep down south, and this company, Hero Honda, was a Ludhiana-based company, and I actually hadn't even managed to go that much up north in those days. And I just remembered that here was this Ludhiana-based company that started off manufacturing bicycles. So why the hell is my boss asking me about this little Ludhiana-based company that is manufacturing bicycles? And sometime in 1984, this company, Hero Cycles Limited, went into a joint venture with Honda of Japan to manufacture motorcycles. And if anybody is there from that age, they used to manufacture a motorcycle called the CD100. In fact, the CD100 was the only motorcycle that was available in this country that day. And it was a pretty great cycle if I remember. But while we were having that conversation, my boss threw a googly and asked me, do you watch Ramayana? So, of course I watched Ramayana because, this was 1993. Somewhere in 1984, this serial called Ramayana, which was a magnum opus epic, what do you call it, produced by Ramanand Sagar. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, telecast every Sunday morning. And पूरे मोहल्ले में एक ही टीवी होते थे. सुबह सुबह उठ के हम जूते उतार के टीवी के सामने आरती उतार के, we used to garland the TV and then sit in front of that to watch this Ramayana. After obviously removing our slippers and chappals and all that. And I was wondering where was this conversation going? I mean, here was I, supposed to be a fund manager, talking to my executive trustee who ran the Unit 64 portfolio, and he's asking me about Ramayana. I thought this conversation is really going nowhere. And then he asked me a very simple question. He says, did you notice when you watched Ramayana, what was the first advertisement that came on came on air before Ramayana began? And then I recollected that it was Hero Honda. And with, all remembrance to Piyush, it used to be, fill it, shut it, forget it, for all of those guys who remember, the Honda ads of those days. And it struck me that if, a company, a small Ludhiana-based company, was able to identify, what was to be India's prime TV property, right? And be the first lead advertiser on that particular sort of program, then there must be something going on in this company. There must be some vision. There must be some sort of grand plan that this company had to make it big in the motorcycle market. And most obviously, we went and invested into Hero Honda in those days. And believe me, an investment in Hero Honda way back in 1993 when it IPO'd would be, worth more than 5,000 times today. So what that left me thinking was that as much as we could read balance sheets, we could attend financial literacy quizzes and, be, extremely sort of knowledgeable about this entire business, I think at the end of the day, it is common sense that actually makes all the difference. And in quizzing, I think, as much as all the knowledge that you have is important, sometimes it is common sense that wins you the prizes at the end. So all I will leave you quizzers is with, remember common sense, and many of these questions that will come to you together, I think you need to refer back to your common sense and, try and get to the answers. In the very same year, I remember in 1993, there was this company called Infosys Technologies, and many of you may have heard of it, may have invested into it, but they were launching their IPO. And they were offering 28 lakh shares at 95 rupees a share. Correct. And the total IPO size was 2,660 crores. And if all of you, and I'm sure many of you in this audience must be already investing into IPOs, size of 2,660 crores would be laughable today. Because today we're talking about IPOs of 25,000 crores and maybe more. And I remember Enam Securities used to be the investment banker to this particular issue. And then they came to me, and as I told you, I was working in the unit trust of India. And they came to me and they asked me whether you would like to participate in the IPO. And about 60% of the issue was reserved for institutional investors. 40% was there for the retail and the HNI investors. And, analyst that I was, I looked at the fundamentals. And I found that the earnings per share was something like 7.5 rupees. And the book value was something like 24.5 rupees. So issue that was priced at something like 95 rupees per share, would typically be, 15 times earnings and something like 4 times book. And given the fact that we were all what we in those days called value investors, I don't even know whether there are any value investors left in this country anymore. Everybody's a momentum investor. But for people who were brought up in the school of value investing, anything that was, 15 times earnings and 4 times book was, damn expensive. And we said, what are the assets that this company had? And they said, we don't have no assets. Our only assets are our people who walk in the morning and walk out in the evening, and we don't know they're going to come in tomorrow. And, we said, this is not a kind of investment that we would like to make. And believe me, the issue was oversubscribed 13 times, and we had just invested 10,000 rupees in those days, it would be worth something like 2 crores. Lost opportunity, no doubt. But a lost opportunity simply because of the dogma we subscribe to. And I think for quizzers, that is, I think, a very, very important thing because, you need to be open-minded, you need to be flexible when you approach, quizzing. And the only way to be a better quizzer, in my opinion, is to have the willingness to change your mind when the evidence demands it. And you will come across a large number of situations today where the evidence will demand that you change the way you are looking at your answers. And I suspect being dogmatic will not help you win the quiz. The third incident, which comes to mind, which in my opinion is very closely related to, quizzing, was in the year 2010. And in the year 2010, I used to work in the insurance industry, and I was working, managing investments for Bajaj Allianz life insurance company. And the chief of Allianz Germany, who was our joint venture partner, was a gentleman called Michael Diekmann. And Michael Diekmann was a strappingly tall German gentleman, and he was on the board of Bajaj Allianz life insurance company, and he had dropped in by Pune to attend one of the board meetings. And we used to have our board meetings in Akurdi for all those people who are here from Pune or been to Pune, where Bajaj Auto used to have its plant. And I remember that day, Rahul Bajaj had sent his personal car to pick up Michael Diekmann from, I do not know whether it was called Taj or Blue Diamond in those days, but there was only one hotel where anybody could stay in Pune in those days. And to pick him up and bring him to Akurdi for the board meeting. And when Michael Diekmann got off the car in, at the Bajaj Auto plant in Akurdi, there was a brown strip right across his white shirt, right? But Diekmann was not one of those guys to be very flustered about, these kind of things. He gets out of the car, walks to his boot, opens the boot, opens his suitcase out there, takes out another white shirt, removes this, shirt which has got a brown sort of mud stain right across the shirt, and changes right there in front of Mr. Rahul Bajaj and all of us. Walks up to Mr. Bajaj and says, Mr. Bajaj, let's not forget that we are in the life insurance business and seatbelts are there for a purpose, right? I think what he was trying to say very simply is that you need to practice what you advocate. How can you be in the life insurance business and not wear a seatbelt? Okay, because unfortunately the seatbelt in that car had never been used, like a lot of seatbelts in all the cars that all of us sort of drive. And I think from a quizzing perspective, I think people need to realize that, unless you sort of, you practice what you advocate, and we sort of look at sustained learning right through our entire sort of quizzing experiences, I think we can never become better quizzers. So these couple of months which we spent sort of quizzing with all of you, especially those of you who reached the finals, have reminded me that quizzing is so very similar to what investments is about. And the good thing is that what we're going to have today is actually a marriage between, investment, finance, and quizzing. All the best to every one of you, and may the best team win. Thank you so much.